thought you were gonna do the 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got to do the 1, 2, 3, so I know when to start. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Not that complicated. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hey guys.
Back.
Welcome back to another episode of Not That Complicated. It's Tasia.
Jametra.
And Morgan.
What it do?
What it do, baby?
We bet.
Yeah.
We bet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's hop straight into it with the motherfucking icebreaker. So today's icebreaker is another finish the sentence like from last week. And this time is like, if I knew everything in the world for a day, I would blank. So if you just knew everything, you are all knowing, like Jesus himself, what would you do?
Find cures for diseases, like all of them.
Wow, I was not worried about them.
Wow.
Like,
That's a
especially
good one.
cancer. Like,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I was literally just going to say I'd probably cry because I can only imagine all the horrible things that I would know. I would be holding all of that, like all of that. Like that was when, as soon as you said that, I was like, what else would I do but cry? Because like, just in taking all of that emotion or all of those feelings from everything that's going on in the world, I feel like I would be overwhelmed with emotions and like just different things that the first thing I would do I would probably cry or feel sad in some sense. But I mean, I don't know what else. I can't think of anything else that I would do just because I know everything. I guess Morgan's is a good one. I just don't know what else I would do outside of that.
I would make a cool invention. Since I know everything and I know how everything works, I'm making a cool invention. So then I would never have to work ever again because I have an invention.
Okay. Yeah, I guess those are good. Yeah, I would just sit there and be sad because I'd be like, oh my gosh, all these people are starving.
Well,
literally. Oh, well, back in 1712, Lucille died from having rabies.
No, it would be those like closed documents on the U.S. and what we would be doing.
Yeah.
Okay, now that, yeah,
that would
okay,
be
so
more
knowing
scary
all that,
than crying.
I would actually. That's what I'm saying. I would be like some sort of emotion that would make me cry, in some sense, because if I knew all that, like knowing how they killed Princess Diana, I'd want to take down the whole royal house.
I was literally watching a conspiracy series last night. Well, this morning.
They definitely did that shit. They did the way that they did Princess Margaret. I know they did that shit to Diana, and that wasn't even a blood. They did that shit.
And that's why Queen
Elizabeth
is not gonna die until she thinks that there is an adequate queen to take her place. Right now, she does that bitch is immortal.
Because they don't like Camilla. They don't want Camilla to have the title of queen.
Yeah. Philip is with everything that went on. Yeah, they don't like her.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because how they did.
Well, wait. Philip is her. Yeah.
How they did. How they did the
Charles
brother.
is going to be king, and Camilla is his wife, but they don't want her to have. They want her to have the title she has now, which is what, like countess or something.
Yeah.
But she would automatically become queen. Unlike if a queen were to come, he would not automatically become king, but she would automatically become queen.
Queen Elizabeth would rather be alive for 350 years before she lets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Before she lets Camilla be queen, she will not die until she finds somebody suitable for that. So everybody else might as well go on and die because
the way that her family did her uncle, I forgot his name. I can't think of it right now. I'm still thinking of the crown. Was it George?
George,
the one who had
the wife.
I thought that was the
one who advocated
wife that was
for love.
Yeah. Yeah, him. The way they did him, like
I think Philip VIII maybe something.
Yeah, I can't remember because it's not his real name. Because even her dad took on a different name. She was the one that actually took on her real name.
Philip, George, one of them.
Yeah, it was one. I think it's It has to be Philip, right? Because Edward was her dad, right?
I think so.
No, George. I don't fucking
Girl,
know.
next.
Match.
Anyway, they don't love their own blood. That's what we getting at.
Yes, exactly. So they definitely ain't gonna love an outsider.
And she not gonna know peace. Because to see your grandsons sitting in that procession with their heads bent, like that's
It's sad. And then further explain, this is the only explanation for why Harry was so willingly ready to get the fuck out of there.
Because he's not in line to be king, so it's like,
what the hell am I here for? Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
y'all don't need me.
Fuck this shit. Y'all killed my mama. Fuck y'all. And I know y'all did that shit. They got a podcast coming out and everything. So they can do everything since they've released themselves from those titles. They can do things like regular people. Even though, I mean, they're still not going to be regular people, but they can earn money as regular people would. So I'm like, yes, I'm so happy for you guys. Release yourselves from that bitch. She's a ghost walking. She's too old, y'all. She's too damn old.
Her mom lived to be 100 and something, so
that's crazy.
To think that her mom made it to the 21st century. Her mom died in like 2002.
I didn't know that. That's weird. That's actually kind of scary. And have you seen the husband, Charles? Ain't that his name?
Philip?
No, Philip. You seen that man?
I don't.
Oh,
it's the giving corpse.
That haunts you. He looks like a corpse already.
He's damn near one. He's like,
that's nasty.
He's like, can we die?
But the gag is like, I think he's older than her. He's like 90. Let me see.
Yeah, I think he is older than her because he was. I think he was writing her letters. He was writing her letters when she's like
94
in middle school.
How old is King Philip? Or Prince? Just kidding. Prince Philip?
Prince Philip.
How old is
He's
Prince
like something.
Philip? He's older than her. He's 99.
Oh my god.
She's 94. He's 99.
Yeah, because I remember there was a story about like how he was writing her letters when she was 13 and he was 18.
That's nasty.
They don't even be in wheelchairs. That's kind of impressive, actually.
That was like we think about Queen Elizabeth.
Because hasn't he gone over
for her?
I don't even see her with a cane.
Yeah, like she is very mobile. Yeah. Like it appears as though she has no like health issues.
Yeah, she looks better off than he does. Because hasn't he underwent a couple of surgeries?
Yeah.
Like heart things or something He's gone through some shit.
When did he go turn?
He almost died last year. I think I could have sworn he almost died last year.
How old is Prince? Wait, no. I'm asked when his birthday. When is Prince Philip's birthday? June 10th. So if he make it, he was born June 10th, 1921.
1921.
Before the Great Depression. Wow.
God.
Yeah, that's fucking old.
That's a century.
I would never want to live that old.
Well, only want to live that old is if I'm able-bodied. Like if I'm stuck in the bed or I can't move or something.
She said stuck in the bed. Going to jail.
So you would want to live that old.
Like you automatically
like them.
Yeah, if I was like able to still live my life regularly, I'm not sick and decrepit and need help. I fall in and I can't.
You're rolling through the streets with no cane.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm
he look how he looks.
Damn near. Isn't he damn near about to fall over? Hold on, I gotta see it. Because didn't this man almost die last year? He almost died last year. I could have sworn. Like in the past couple of years, something happened to him, and he almost kicked the bucket. He almost kicked the bucket.
Sick. Oh my god, he looked like he got the suds.
He does look like he has the suds. Let me see. Near death.
She was about to Google Prince Philip.
Because
Prince Philip
feel like
near death.
Okay, that was Prince in 2018.
Who is Prince Philip married to? Is he married?
Queen Elizabeth.
Well, why is he the prince?
Because when you marry a queen, you don't become the king. But if you were marrying into the family and they were the king, you do become the queen. I don't know how that shit works, but
he was also the prince of something else. He was like a prince in Greece, I think, before.
Yeah, they
got together.
And
aren't they cousins?
Change his titles. Yeah, they are cousins.
Yeah, they're cousins.
And they already had to go through and change his titles because he was connected to Nazis, and he was like imprint. Like he had a whole lot of shit going on. because if you remember, I think it was the second season or the end of the first season of Crown where she gave in and gave him something. I forgot what it was. He got crowned for something.
I was gonna say the third baby, I think, got to be named his Batten, whatever. I don't know.
Oh no, see, yeah, and I had made it there. It was something where he got knighted of some sort, and they had it was after they had that big talk in the ship about him cheating, the scandal with his best friend assistant that was cheating and all that stuff, and they had that big talk, whatever.
He looks like he has the studs.
Yeah, he does. He actually looks scary, and I could have sworn a couple years ago he almost died. I think it was a plane crash. Let me see if I can feel it. Prince. Oh my God, he's scary. He looks so scary. If I saw that as a ghost form in my bedroom, I would.
One good thing about him, he was like the only ally Diana had in that palace, in that kingdom.
Really? I didn't know that. I haven't made it that far. Plane crash.
Okay. We're spiraling again. This is not okay.
I know we do this all the time. Fucking, I can't find it. I feel like something in my soul. He almost died a couple years ago. Okay, where are we at now? What was that? That was.
It's time to get into your pop culture.
Okay, so pop culture. So for this week, I happened to come across this video. Hold on, let me see it. Hold on, wait, girl. Stop. Oh shit. Stop talking. I gotta turn on my volume. Okay. It's a TikTok. Hold on, let me pause it. It's a TikTok. And her caption says, "Not bashing pretty girls. I'm here for it all. And will hype you, sis. It just sucks being on the other end of the spectrum." So let me turn the volume up.
She basically called herself ugly. Okay.
Let me just play the video. Okay.
Jealous of pretty girls? How the hell does it feel to be God's favorite? Please let me know, because I would not know. Like, you could literally walk into any place and get something for free. You could literally post something online, get hundreds of likes. You could literally go into a club, dudes want to dance with you left and right. You could literally be in a group of people.
That's not a good representation.
And you'll be the main attention. Like, people want to talk to you. Me, on the other hand, if I go into a bar, people, woo, people laugh.
Yeah,
when I go to places, people stare at me and say stuff. When I go to places, people treat me like shit, like I'm dog shit on their shoe. I don't get it. I'm so jealous of.
She's confused. It's because she's fat, not because she's ugly.
Well, I didn't think of that one.
Yeah.
If she was skinny, she wouldn't have no issues. And that's just the fact of the matter, actually. So we can kill that.
I didn't think of that one because the caption was like, "Pretty privilege is very much so real, but there's no need to make other people feel low. This video made me so sad because of what society portrays pretty to be." So, I mean, technically, she could feel, she never said she didn't feel pretty because of her looks or because of her size. So, I mean, technically she could feel not pretty because of her. So, like you said, it could encompass.
No, I'm just saying she's having the life experience she's having because she's fat. It's not because she's ugly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, you're not equating fat being not ugly. I mean, fat being ugly.
Ugly, yeah.
You're not okay. Gotcha.
I can see that.
Okay. But I could see that. But it also feels like she genuinely feels like she's not pretty.
Ugly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but I think it's because the experience she's having, because in her mind, she thinks that because of her experience that makes her ugly, and she sees these other girls and she thinks, oh, they get treated that way because they're pretty. It's like, but also they're skinny, because there's a lot of ugly skinny girls,
darker skin.
That's also I was thinking. I was like, also the darker skin. I think that also plays a part.
So those two both in combination.
I know a lot of
I was gonna say, we can't listen. We cannot. First of all, we cannot gauge our attractiveness based off of these niggas.
Yeah.
At
That
all.
was one. That was definitely one red flag, and I was like,
that
no,
is
sister.
those are the last people we need to gauge our attractiveness off of, because
they don't count.
They I'm gonna say, like,
and she's pretty.
Yeah, she's not ugly.
It's literally her body, not her face.
Yeah.
And I knew that when I looked at her.
I found her.
When I looked at her, I was like, if she was skinny, she wouldn't really have these issues.
And I could see that because she has really beautiful features. She has high cheekbones. She has very nice skin. Like, I was confusion, and I was just like,
girl, you're getting
like every single picture I've come across, she's pretty.
Yeah, she's not ugly.
It's your body, sis, not your face. These niggas hate fat girls. The world hates fat girls. That's just what it is. That's where we are.
This is true. And I'm gonna need the world to get it together. ASAP, no Rocky. But essentially, the reason why I brought that up, because if you could tell from the title, it's talking about the impact social media has on young Black girls, or we could just talk about, Black women in general. It doesn't have to be young, but I just specifically called out young Black girls in the title. And you may, yes, exactly. And you will hear me referencing young girls and not specifically saying Black girls. Just know we're talking about Black girls because
we Black.
Why would I be talking about the clears?
That's our experience.
I said we're young. We almost not young, guys. We almost not young.
I mean, like in the grand scheme of things, we still young until
we're relatively young.
Relatively.
But we're not young. Once you get to be about 30, they're like, you're 30.
Yeah, like, okay, sit it down, old lady. You're 30. Calm the fuck down.
We don't have that many more years of 20s left.
We're
Please,
about
can
to
you
be
stop saying that out loud?
The midway mark.
You did not have to say that.
It's gonna be that 25.
Yeah.
25.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
Me either. That makes me itch. Oh my god.
Spiral.
Ooh, gosh, that just gave me heebie-jeebies. I don't like that.
You better be old. You old. Y'all old. It is what it is. Y'all old.
You old. I don't claim that.
Are you not turning 25 next year too?
I'm the youngest of the group.
Okay, girl. Come on, Tasia.
By a month. Okay. So my first question is, do you feel like, okay, so as we all know, social media has obviously propelled and grown over the years from even where we started off with social media to what it is now. And of course, to how our parents didn't have social media until they were into their adult age, and then also the kids younger than us, how they've grown up with social media. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like the growth of social media has impacted the way young girls, of course, I'm talking about Black girls, see themselves?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
Especially nowadays, in the age of the Instagram body and the BBLs have taken control. It's all of everybody's going to be BBL because it's not that expensive of a surgery. Like when you think of, like when people think about surgery, you be like, oh my god, $20,000. But a BBL is not that expensive of a surgery. Anybody can get it, and most people do get it. They take out their little care credit, put it on their credit card, whatever they gotta do, and get their little $5,000 BBL. And now we post it on Instagram like I was born like this. And I think more recently, probably in the past year or so, it has become okay to say you have had a BBL. Because even before, like when BBLs were popular and a lot of people were getting them, they were still lying about getting them, saying that, oh no, I just got older, or I just gained weight, I just did this. And like, no.
I was working out, bitch. Shut up. Working out does not give you hourglass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think even beyond the physical aspect, growing up, for us, we were the last generation to have both. We had the real world, and then social media became a thing right around high school. So we grew up interacting with each other. Some people had cell phones, some people didn't, so it wasn't like it is now. And I think the generation that's coming up that is instantly thrown into social media, it shapes how they look at life in general. And this perfection mindset that social media gives off of always feeling like you have to look a certain way or be a certain way, or just the way social media works, where people post their best. No one posts when they're struggling, or the process to get to the places that they've gotten to and that they're posting about. You just see the wins. And I think that impacts more than just the physical, just how they think life works in general.
Yep,
Or
I agree.
even
And
when you like, I was gonna say, when you like think about, like, okay, we are almost 3 years out of college. In a few months, we'll be 3 years out of college. When you, in your head, what you thought you would be 3 years out of college, or what you imagined you would be, or even in what some people who are older than us are putting on that they are 3 years out of college, and then you look at yourself like, no,
Is this what it always was, or did I make up
Yeah.
an unrealistic
Yeah.
yes.
picture based off of what I thought it was going to be?
Right.
And I think that's what it is. And I think it's because us in college, we had no idea. We didn't know. So we were going off of what we've seen. Us three, we watch YouTube. I personally treat YouTube like it's TV. I don't really
Yeah,
watch TV
same.
for real. So me seeing people have access to all of this money, and a lot of them are at young ages, I'm like, oh, okay. So you start to believe that is attainable for yourself, not realizing, okay, take a step back. That was attainable for them because of said circumstances. You will not be in those same circumstances. So you have these goals of, you want this kind of apartment, you want to have this car, you want to have this, and this at the age of 24 or 23.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's pretty unrealistic.
Or even still like this, like someone I went to school with recently, they paid off all their student loans. And I was like,
How the fuck did they do that? Did they only have 2,000?
my immediate thought. But then I had to realize, okay, I had $40,000 worth of student loans when I graduated. Now it's more than that. But so I was like, there's no, it doesn't, to me, it
They
doesn't.
had to have a small amount.
They did. Come find out, they did
okay.
a smaller amount. They had less.
Okay.
I can't remember how much they had, but it was less than 40,000. I want to say it was like
Okay.
less than 20,000 actually.
Okay, I was gonna say, was it less than 20? Because I have like
Yeah.
20 something.
Yeah, and I want to say it was less than 20,000. But I was just like, but even to myself, I was like, dang, you ain't putting out one payment on your student loan. You ain't even working towards that.
You on deferment, forbearance.
That's literally, that's because that shit is it's basically made. It's hard to, unless you in order to pay off student loans, to actually pay towards the principal amount and not the interest, because that's what you're paying towards when you make those monthly. You're paying towards, unless you make extra payments, you're paying towards that interest.
Right.
So unless you come across a huge lump sum, say we got a stimulus when it wasn't like a pandemic. Say you came across that $1,200. You could put that $1,200 to your loan. That would make a huge difference instead of you paying $100 a month for a year. That $1,200 would go a lot further and make it would actually make a dent. You would see that your loan decreased by $1,200 rather than $2 because you've been paying $100 for a year. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But definitely social media, like I feel like everybody knows, like there's this whole thing people say on, like, don't let Twitter fool you, like just because you see these people doing this, or don't let Instagram fool you because of this, like,
because the reality is, and I'm guilty of it too, I'm not putting when my life is going bad on Instagram.
Exactly. Who would do that?
Doing that. I'm only gonna
There's
put
very few people that do that.
I am literally only going to put the good things about my life.
And which I feel like we are feeding into the perpetual cycle.
Probably.
So like
of posting a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Yes. So like Morgan and I, we both have YouTube channels. Don't come for us. We're not that active right now.
On the slick,
but
YouTube light.
Literally. So we do. And I remember originally the reason why I created a YouTube channel is because I was getting into makeup and I wanted to help people that were like me who had no idea when these people were talking about different products. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Why do you have 10 different concealers? And I was like, there's other people out there that are just like me. I can help them. We don't know shit about this. But then of course things change. Makeup is not as popping as it used to. I've changed. I like to stick to the shit that I like. Be doing all that dramatic stuff no more. And I started to change to like being more, being more personal. Back then when I first started, people being upfront with their personal life wasn't very common. It was very taboo, like, whoa, you doing a lot. So when people start vlogging, it's like, oh, wow. And when I started vlogging, I was like, I want to be a person that I want to be relatable, of course. I feel like all people want to be relatable, but I wanted to be relatable in the sense that you didn't come to my channel and all you saw was good, happy, like, oh my gosh, I did this. I passed this test. Yes, guys, I had a great day at work. Oh my gosh, yes, grades are awesome. College is so fucking fun. Like, I just went out to a party, then I went to work, then I had an internship, and then I made hundreds on all of my tests. Like, everything is awesome. Like, I wanted to be transparent in a sense to where I showed the real, like, shit be getting
I took
crazy.
an L on that exam yesterday, boy.
Like, this shit wild, but like you can bounce back from that.
Right.
But when you're in it, you kind of realize, I know for me, I'm not a very public person. So it also alone, that's a hurdle in itself, because yes, I want people to know that everything is not easy and things, do not come in that way. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't want to be vulnerable, especially on the internet, because the internet is a very cruel place, because internet enables people and it calls people to be rude, cruel, insensitive in ways that they wouldn't be if they saw you in person. So you have to build some sort of, so people can't attack you in ways. And it's like, yes, 2 months ago I was talking about how I failed, but that don't mean you need to bring it up now. Talking about some, you a stupid ass bitch, that's why you got an F on your math test, you don't deserve the job that you have now. And it's just like,
honey, do you know I would cry if people knew it. When I get into pharmacy school, people are like, girl, you failed organic chemistry 3 times.
it's like,
I got an A. You
like,
must know.
mind your business. Mind your business. So it's like, I understand why people only post their highlight reel, because who has time to deal with naysayers and people being negative? Because people are not as nice as they let off to people who are not as positive as they let. There are miserable people out here in this world. They may be miserable for their own reasons, but there are people that are miserable.
Yeah.
It just sucks because you don't want to be a victim, but you also don't want to, continue to spew that same rhetoric that everything is good, love this, because that also is detrimental to other people. So,
and I'm not even gonna lie, I don't care about spewing everything is good. I want people to think that my life is amazing. Period.
And if we're honest, like that,
like,
really
I'm not even
on social media. You want people to look at your pictures and think, "Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love her hair like that. I love the way she dresses." And oh my gosh, like I feel that pretty much, kind of low key, is the idea.
Yeah. I only want people to think I'm cute. I only want you to think I'm having fun. If I'm having a bad day, Instagram will be the last to know, which means never, because I'm not even gonna tell my friends. No. I only want you to think I'm living an amazing life. I'm doing so well. That's all I want you to know.
Yeah, I think it's easy to put up a front now. Will I get on my close friends and vent? I will, because to my friends, I don't mind being open, and I don't mind saying, y'all, listen, I'm depressed today. This is where we at. This is just what it is. Now, will I get on my general public story? Absolutely not.
But that also leads me, then shouldn't you, social media, if that's the case, why are you following or allowing people to follow you that you could not be open with in that sense? Why do you have to have a close, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, social media.
I think because I think Well, for me personally,
social media started to connect friends with friends.
Yeah.
But then it evolved with the culture of being popular. So then you started friending people that weren't really your friend or associates, and you started seeing these people amass followings, blah, blah. And everybody's like, oh, I strive to have 500 friends on MySpace. Yes, I want to have that. I want to have, am I on her top 5? Am I on her top 10? Blase, blase, blase. You know, realizing these people are not really your friends. And Instagram started off very small, only allowed people who had iPhones. I remember the early days of Instagram was very, it was
you went
not
on
like
there
it
for
was.
filters. It wasn't
Literally,
even
I dead ass used to post a picture every single day on Instagram. I was not checking to make sure it was like super cute. I would just post.
Nobody was really getting likes
post
like
a picture.
that.
Nobody was getting like, it was genuine. I feel like that's how they wanted it to be. And then things shifted as time went on. And it's like, if you wanted to keep that same culture, why do you allow people that you aren't comfortable with to follow you? And I feel like because of that, we are contributing to this society, because like,
I think because to a
why do you
certain
have to have a close
extent,
friends? Like,
to a certain extent, whether it's something we're consciously striving for or not, we want to have some type of influence. Whether it's, maybe some people don't want to necessarily be an influencer and that be what they do. We do want to have an influence on people. And I feel like you don't have to know the people that you want to influence, or the people that you want to draw in, or the people that appreciate your content. Pretty much like, sure, follow me, like my pictures, hype me up. Like, you don't have to be my friend to do that. So then you feel like, okay, you know, I have these different levels of people that follow me. There are people that follow me that I have true intimate connections with. Then there's people I just know from around the hood. Well, not the hood, from around college. You know, we saw each other a few times. And then you have complete strangers. And it's like, I'm open to all of you guys being able to see my content. But when it comes to sharing personal information about myself, I'm going to keep that to a secluded group of people.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing or anything. I just think it's very interesting because you can tell that Instagram knows that it isn't how it was when it first started. Very intimate.
Because it started becoming more about business.
And they became more about business, and hence why they created something as close friends, because they know majority of people that on social media, they don't know each other for real. They're associates. They're not friends. People be calling people friends, but y'all not friends. Y'all are associates. Y'all barely know each other. So
And
that's why they created something like a close friends.
It used to be like friend request. Now it's follower request. You have followers, not friends. And I think if we really dive deep into the transition between when social media was more just about reuniting and connecting with the people that you see on a daily basis, and then now it's you being able to reach people from a different country if you really wanted to. That transition was gradual, but I'm pretty sure very intentional, and we probably didn't realize it until it became a completely different thing that we didn't set out to partake in, but that's just where we are now.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I will say, I did at one point I was following celebrities, but in the past few years I was like, I intentionally unfollowed celebrities because I was like, I don't really want to see what they're doing on my main feed. Now I follow celebrities on my like Insta and stuff. So if I see a celebrity, it's because I'm intentionally going to look for celebrity gossip or whatever that the celebrity is doing. So on my main page, I only follow like 400, 300 something people. Maybe let's say 400. I only follow like 400 people. And those are people that I've known throughout my life from like elementary school to now.
Yeah. And I agree. I also don't follow. I think I follow, I would say 5 celebrities. I can name 3 off top: Rihanna, Drake, Keke Palmer. Can't think of another actual celebrity. Definitely there are people that people could kind of consider celebrities, or like they're celebrity adjacent, like LL Cool J's daughter. But she's not really a celebrity. Like, because if I said her name, everybody'd be like, who? So I had to say who.
She can join this Zoom right now, and I'll be like, hi, who are you?
Exactly. So like actual celebrities, I think it's, I can't think of. So yeah, Yeah, I'm the same way. I do it on my burner mainly because who wants to see someone flaunt their wealth all
Living
day,
an
every day?
amazing life that you can't relate to.
Literally, no. I mean, some people they do follow that, but like I don't want to see that. I wouldn't. I can't fucking relate.
Let me see somebody in my tax bracket because this is a little much.
Literally, like, and that's how unrealistic expectations are formed, because you see Nicki Minaj posting her 10 Birkins, you see Sweetie playing role plays with the damn Birkins, and you're like, oh my God, yes, I can get a Birkin.
Look at my tuition. Like, look at my college tuition right there on the couch.
Literally, and it's like,
no, my student loans on the couch.
No, you cannot get a Birkin. Let's get that together. Let's just
not that you can't, just not right now.
Mm-hmm. Which plays into the whole immediate satisfaction that social media promotes. It's like, yeah, I know I can have a Birkin in my life, but when is it going to be? I want it right now. And how do I make
and even then, if we're keeping
right
a buck, no, you're not. Everyone is not going to have a Birkin. No, I'm sorry. No. 9 times out of 10, these people that say they want Birkins
never purchase a Birkin. And maybe
I'm just saying, you're not. 9 times out of 10, the majority of people are not going to have the money to get a Birkin. Yes, we can all strive to be millionaires. If that was the case, everybody would be a fucking millionaire. Literally. But it's not. It's not easy, as people say. Oh, to be a millionaire, you only have to make $162 a day.
You'd be like, okay, I mean,
hey, well, bitch, you do it since you. What's that video of that boy? Well, you make
are you including taxes or no?
Literally, like. That could be the wrong number, but it's some number like that.
Yeah, they just make it like, as long as you make this every single day, it's like, okay, but you're not taking into account the ebbs and flows that come with everything. Everything.
Am I making this money? I'm not paying any bills. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, how am I making this money and I'm 60 years old because I have all this experience? Like, am I making this straight out of college? No.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question is, have you personally wanted to change anything about yourself because you've seen it so many times on social media?
No. Not because I've seen it on social media. I want new titties.
How do you know? Because it's not going to be like your brain's like, hey, bitch, we saw this on social media. So we want this. It's like constant reinforcement. You always see it. And then because your brain is always seeing it and you know that you like that, then you're like, I want that. I like that. Why wouldn't I get that? Because I like it. And it's like, if you think about it, though,
I would say
if you
it's not.
Really sit down and think.
I would say it's not because I was born with a fat ass. I'm not really like susceptible to that particular kind of stuff. Like, I was just born this way. However, I do want new titties, and I'm not gonna say because it was social media. Probably more so because my mama got new titties. I would say that's more likely than because of social media. My mama had new titties since I was like 7.
Okay.
So that's more likely.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think I've never wanted to change anything physically about myself because of social media. If anything, maybe someone that I follow makes me feel like, oh, I'm not motivated enough. I need to figure out ways in which I can, propel myself into a new mindset that makes me more motivated so I can achieve my goals, blah, blah, blah. I think in those types of ways, because I don't know, I think I've always been very strong-willed in my head. So even when social media came out, it was never like, oh, she looks like this and these are the guys that are in her comments, so I need to look like that. It was not. Listen,
yeah.
I can tell you nothing I ever do is because of a nigga.
Yeah, no, I've never had that sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Because he could cheat on you the next day. So it's
Beyonce got cheated on. Like, come on, shut
up. And that'd be my thing. It's not about your face or your body. You can get.
It's nothing. You could literally be voted the most beautiful person in the world.
And get cheated
on. Still cheat. Like it really does not matter. And you know who cheats? a nigga that wants to. So
Oh, see, I was gonna say
Seems
all
to
of
be
them.
a lot of them. So most of them.
I know the nigga that does not cheat yet. Even like the guy friends I talk to, they just I don't know how to distinguish right now if they're making jokes or if they're seriously doing it. So I just assume that they're serious.
But who would joke about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, put me on your friend with put me on with such and such. And I'm like, don't you have a girlfriend? Yeah, but still put me on with such and such. Now
Wait, excuse me,
So you want me to help? No.
Literally, why the hell would I do that?
What? And that's my friend? Why would I?
Right. Especially when I know you're not
set
coming
my
up
friend
on
up
no
to be a
cash.
side chick. Why
Like,
not?
And
Whoever that is, you need to tell them they need to not.
I
He
do.
belongs in jail.
Okay, good. I'm glad you
Because
do.
you're involved.
I already knew it.
Wait,
I
what?
felt it in my soul. I knew it. I knew it was gonna be Tasia.
I be beating niggas off with a stick for you. What's wrong with you?
Thank you.
With a stick.
I have been keeping
Thank
you
you.
from side bitch land for a long periodically time. You don't even know it.
Thank you. I appreciate it that someone out there is fighting that battle for me because I would not have known. Niggas are going to jail.
Yeah, because it's just like, why would I bring that up to you when I know you've been dating this girl for a year and a half? Why would I do that? I know the girl.
That
If
is
the
sick.
girl's not my friend, I know she exists and I know who she is. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah, that's actually sick.
They're not smart.
I hope he seeks help. But to answer the question, I think I'm going to give a yes, no. And in the sense of the way Morgan said, and like how Jametra said, no, I have never seen someone and been like, oh, I want to get that because they got that. Or also, and no, I have never seen someone and been like, oh my gosh, look at all these people in their comments. I want to get that because they got that. But I can give one example. I'll give two examples. Okay, so I've always wanted to get my boobs done since a very young age. My mom, it runs in my family. The women in my family just have big boobs. Like my mom has big boobs. My grandma doesn't, so maybe that's where I got it from. But everybody else, I can't think of a flat-chested woman in my family besides me and my grandma.
Big boobs.
Huh?
Yeah.
Child, anyways.
Literally,
So
like that's ghetto, man. I remember I would make balloons and I would put them in my shirt as a kid, and I'd be like I've always known that I wanted to have bigger boobs just because that's what I've seen. You know what? If that doesn't make sense, it's just like what I've seen. I know that's fucking stupid, but that's what I did.
for me.
Girl, balloons. I was a little kid. I was like 8, probably younger than that. So in that sense, no, I always knew that's just always what I wanted. But I never really had the, I don't have the desire now, but I never had the thought or I never pondered the idea of doing anything else to my body outside of that until probably the past 5 years. And I think the reason isn't because I directly saw it on social media. It's like, oh my gosh, she has a big butt. That's what I want. I'm going to do it. Well, I don't know how to say this. Okay. I feel like seeing these quote unquote Instagram bodies has in turn made me notice things that it's like, you know what? I like that on her. What is different on her that isn't on me? I'm like, oh, okay. She don't got these little hip dips.
Yeah.
I could get a little fats and these little hip dips.
Yeah, I can agree. I'd be like, all right, I got the big butt, but bitch, that waist.
It's like those kind of things.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not directly like, oh my God, I have to have this, but it's also, it kind of opened the door to, okay, I like that. Why do I like that? Oh, because she doesn't have this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, I can fix that. Blah, blah, blah. And it's just really interesting because at one point in my life, I never. Now I think it's because I know how attainable it is. Like you said, they're not expensive. And seeing so many people, not even Instagram influencers, have their body done.
When you initially think about plastic surgery, you automatically assume like a luxury, more expensive. But the grand scheme of things, they're not really that expensive.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
they be
Even
like
to get your
under
titties done, it's not expensive.
$10,000. Like, I could do that. For surgery, yeah, we could do that. And even something as your titties, you could get your titties done for a medical procedure, get your insurance to cover it. For a lot of different circumstances. So it's just like they're attainable for regular girls, regular people.
Exactly.
You don't have to be rich.
Exactly. And I think that it's how, in a way, it plays into the minds of, women and young girls, because it's like, well, the only people it's not like the only people getting this are celebrities.
Yeah.
You see regular day people getting this stuff, and it's like
it started as only celebrities. And then I will even go back to say, when celebrities were getting surgery, they were getting it natural looking so they could deny it. But now it's gotten to the point where, why do I have to get it natural looking? I want a 20-inch waist and a 42-inch ass, and that's what I motherfucking want. So we all know that that's not what you were born with. We all know that's not what you worked out for. So you like, yeah, I got X, Y, and Z done. And I don't know what changed in the world for it to become more acceptable, for it just to be talked about more, but it has changed.
I think it's social media. Because if you really think about it, I think most, if not all, trends start with celebrities, and then they trickle down into the everyday people. And usually we don't execute it the same, but we put our own spin on it that makes it accessible to us.
So who was the first celebrity y'all saw?
Kim Kardashian and Nicki Minaj.
See, but I'll say, okay, maybe Nicki Minaj, but Kim Kardashian, I never wanted the Kim Kardashian ass.
No, I'm just saying, I can't think of any other celebrity that had that body, that Instagram body, that people get now.
But the gag is, she had the Instagram body before she did anything to her body.
What Instagram body did she have? Because she was built like Armenian, straight up and down.
And hairy as fuck.
Kim had a butt before she went overboard.
She had a white girl butt or a black girl butt. Because also people be putting on for these white girls when they have a little extra meat, and they be like, oh my gosh, she has a butt. And it's like, if a black girl had that butt, you always say she had no ass.
Everybody say J-Lo had such a huge ass. Where?
And I'm just like,
but for that time, for 2002, that was a big butt. I think we have to think about where we are in 2020, completely different. In 2002,
I would say that's why in my head, I'm like, in 2002, it was the era of the skinny girl. That's why Beyonce's body was motherfucking banging.
Think about it. She made a whole song about bootylicious in like 2000,
and she was skinny,
and she looked like that.
She didn't have a booty.
So it's like
she had a little
That's very telling of what was acceptable or what was seen as bigger. At that time. Because right now, if you put Beyonce's body then in 2020, y'all would say she's skinny.
Yes. And which is very weird to me, because you bring up the Black culture, hip hop, R&B. That is very strange to me, because how did we let that fly? Because being in the culture of Black people, Black women, we know what big booties look like. We see it every day. We have seen natural big booties in real form. We have seen the natural big booties with the little waist in real form. So I'm not understanding.
That's because, although that is Black culture, Black people are not really in control. Black people had no control over what was being put out, actually, even though it was our name over it. We were not in control of that.
Okay, so that also leads me. So then, if that's the case, if we are so we should be used to these type of bodies. Why is it that we see so many Black women getting these things?
Because now, at this point now, it's not the natural big booty, big waists. Yeah, we have women who are born with the like Instagram bodies naturally, but it's not nowadays. It's not like, okay, you got a big butt and so you're on. It's like, honey, your waist is a little, and you have
your waist is a 25. We need it to be a 22.
Yeah, and it's like now it's gotten to the point where it's unrealistic. People don't go and get surgery because I want a natural looking body. They're like, no, make it look like I had a BBL. Thank you.
Yes, that is true. And which is crazy because if I were to ever actually sit down and I talk shit and say I'm gonna get my booty done, I know I'm getting my titties done.
Me too.
I haven't gotten to the point about the BBL part. I haven't gotten that. I do not know the conviction of a BBL, but I do know the conviction of getting these titties done. Okay. Okay. So I know for me and for my household, I know I'm going to go for the natural look.
Yeah.
I physically could not do that. I do not want to look like a wisdom tooth. I simply cannot. I cannot bend over and it looks like I have two fat ass apples on the side of my backs and these skinny ass legs and there's no projection at the bottom half of my butt. It's just at the top. I just can't. I can't do that.
Yeah. I never wanted a BBL because I already told you I've been part of the big booty crew. I was born.
I just want a little. I more so want to. That also. Now that I think about it, maybe it hasn't been 100% social media because my mama has hips and I also wanted hips because my mama got hips. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I more so want a BBL to get me. I just want to feel these hips, man. I just want some hips. God damn. Just give me some.
Because I'll say, I never thought, like, even before having a big ass was unpopular, every woman in my family got a big ass. Like, if you don't,
like that's normal. Like, okay, you got a big booty.
Mm-hmm. Every girl in my family has a big ass. Some of them got little waists, some of them just regular waists. You know, it varies depending on.
It depends.
Yeah,
you get what you get.
But the big ass is there.
You got that
area. So that's not something I ever. And I'll even say this: I never really knew I had a big ass. I'll say I found out that I had a big ass when I got in middle school and I moved to Georgia, and it was like a thing. Everybody always commented on it, and I was like,
"Hey,
but I'm not. I'm wearing khakis." That's
because that's when them little boys was in heat. They figured things out.
And it wasn't even only boys; it was girls too. Like it was always a mention, and I was just like.
But also with our bodies, I think middle school is when we kind of
that's when puberty is going, and like
some
girls are getting titties. You don't have titties.
I was 6 with a big. I would say
it was me in middle school.
As a disclaimer, I've been the same size. I've been adult size since I was in elementary school. That's another reason why I think I'm so tall is because I have not grown since I was in like third or fourth.
She's delusional. She really thinks she.
I get it. Listen, I
understand it in that sense of why she thinks she's tall.
She belongs in the WNBA.
But in my mind, whenever I went to the doctor, and
because she's been taller than.
But I've been this size. I've been this height. Had a big ass since I was in like third or fourth grade. I have not grown since I was in third or fourth grade. Like I've been this. When I was in third or fourth grade, they was like, "Oh, girl, you 17?" No, I'm 10.
Like, leave me alone. I will call the police and my mom. If I were you, I would go away.
Now, I know what you mean because growing up, I was always the tall girl. But me right now, I'm 5'5.5", and that's not tall.
Yeah.
So I always felt like I was a tall person, and then I realized 5'5.5" really it's not giving length. Honestly, girl, sit down. But I was used to being the taller girl growing up, so I get it.
That hasn't clicked in my head.
You be reaching.
Even when I'm with my friends, I be like, I'm pretty tall. I'm pretty tall around here.
Girl, we are the same height, bye.
But it doesn't register in my head. It doesn't register.
When it was me, you, and Carmen, we were literally like...
we were all freaking the same height.
It was a lot.
It did. But it's not until I look at pictures and I'm like, oh, when we're all standing next to each other, I feel like I can look up your head. Even when I was just there and we were both wearing heels, I'm like, or better example, you're wearing heels and I was wearing like my platform sandals. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we are the same height. Like, even something as recent as then, I was like, honey, I don't know what you're talking about. You're wearing 5-inch heels and I'm wearing these little 3-inch platforms. And we're the same height. What is wrong with you? When the grand
maybe your depth perception Something's going on with your eyes.
But it's not accurate, whatever it is.
Basically, it's not accurate. Okay, so the next question is, do you think that there should be more restrictions on the access to social media for adolescents? Like, okay, yes, we know a lot of times social media websites ask, like, you have to be 13 or up, what's your birthday? Okay, I had a Facebook when I wasn't of age. I just changed the fucking date of my birth.
Yeah.
So like, but
that was nothing.
Literally, I'm only gonna say no because now we live in an age where if you don't have a social media, what are you doing? And then it just creates a whole nother thing because you don't have social media, you don't have a cell phone, you don't have that. That's why when people be like, I'm not giving my kid a cell phone. Well, now I'm getting friends with who have kids now, and they're like, my kid's not gonna have a cell phone until this, and I'm like, honey, you're late. Like, let's get granted, when I was younger, I did have a cell phone early, considering. So I'm like, I had a cell phone when I was in 3rd grade. I had a cell phone very early.
Yeah, I went in 4th grade.
Yeah, that's early. A lot of my friends did not have cell phones.
For our age, yeah.
Girl, I really had nobody to call. I was just like,
I didn't.
Just playing Snake.
I did not have anybody to call either. But considering a lot of my friends did not have a cell phone, but nowadays everybody has a cell phone and everybody's on social media and everybody's on YouTube and everybody's watching all these. Everybody's on Twitter, everybody's on Instagram, everybody's on there. I was thinking, especially YouTube, and I'm just a lot of my friends. Well, I'm not saying a lot of my friends, like a lot of them have kids, but one of my friends is like, "Oh yeah, my son can't watch this," and I'm like, he needs to watch YouTube. He's gonna go to school eventually. He needs to be able to relate. This is where all y'all be like, "My son's being bullied." Well, you didn't allow him to do anything that all his peers were doing. What were you expecting from this square? He doesn't know anything.
This point, Dexter.
I think you just have to move with the time.
Yeah, I feel like even if I did say, they should have restrictions, kids grow up tech savvy. They're going to figure out a way.
Exactly.
There's nothing they can't do. So for me to sit here and be like, oh yeah, there should be more restrictions, they go figure something out and this go be the talk of the school by the end of the week, and they go have a hack.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So I guess I'm just gonna have the resounding opposite, because I do think there should be restrictions, and the way I was coming at it is because of the increasing amount of pedophiles, sex trafficking, how young girls are introduced to these disgusting men. Like I've seen like documentaries of like men getting caught with like, because they think that this person is a 12-year-old girl, and it's just like, if she wasn't allowed to be, okay, there's 2 parts. The onus does have to be on the parents, but also at some point these social media apps do have to take responsibility, because they are allowing this type of behavior, and they do not have consequences for said people on these applications. So I know it's going to be very hard. I'm just saying that to answer the question, yes, I do think there should be.
I want them to be monitored.
I just feel like they're going to figure out a way around it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But also, these people that are creating these apps, they're not dumb. These are very intelligent people. There are ways to figure out how to not have a 12-year-old that is in middle school, that has no fucking degree. There's a way, but they're choosing not to because of the money that they can make. We also have to remember, this is a very capitalistic world. There are ways around it. They have facial recognition. In order to get an app, you can easily ask them to do a facial recognition, and from facial recognition, you can tell an estimate of their age. They can easily do something like that, but they haven't.
In that sense, I feel like that's where the parents should monitor it. I had a Facebook. I've had all that.
Okay.
Mine was monitored.
And I say, so to rebut your friend, she doesn't want her kid on YouTube. That could be her version of monitoring, because YouTube also has an excess of things that kids should not be allowed to see. But now we all know YouTube doesn't.
Now when he go to school, he don't
just
know
because he doesn't know the TikToks. Who gives a fuck? TikTok is going to be obsolete in 2 years, just like Vine. Who cares?
Give a fuck. Kids care.
Okay, yeah, whatever. I think that is very minuscule in comparison.
I'm talking about younger kids. Like when
Yeah.
when you're in elementary school and even middle school, stuff like that matters.
I do. Yeah, no, I'm not negating that. I do. But I'm saying from a parent standpoint, that is the last thing on my mind. I'm more so worried about your mental health in another state of you dealing with things, seeing the things that you shouldn't see at your young age because your mind hasn't developed to understand these concepts. You seeing aggressive things, you're seeing sexual things, you're seeing things of
And that's when you can
X, and X
that's when you
nature,
can talk about it
blah, blah,
with
blah.
the kids. Because kids are having sex at younger ages.
No, and I'm not, but that just because you have these talks, yes, you can have talks all you want. That does not change what someone is gonna do or anything. So if you
I
choose,
think it
like
does. I
you
think it
said
does.
monitor, and that's her version of monitoring. She doesn't want him to be on YouTube. Just because it's not the monitor that you want doesn't mean it's not
No, I'm not saying whether
monitoring.
she's right or wrong. I'm not saying that, but I do think it matters when you sit and think about it. Those kids who had so
But
many.
in 5 years, that is 9 times 10. That's not
Okay,
gonna
in the grand
matter.
scheme of things,
It's
yes,
not.
but
So
it
like
could
it's like who
it could
cares?
change the trajectory of their lives. Those kids who had all those restrictions on their lives. Guess what? My high school friends who had so many restrictions. When my mom was a lackadaisical mom. Okay, not lackadaisical, but a very freeing mom. I could talk to my mom about anything, and I had no rules. I made good grades in school, and my mom trusted my decisions. I could do anything I want. If my friends wanted me to drive to Mexico, my mom would be like, "Well, okay, just make sure your phone's on." It wouldn't be like a big deal about it. But my friends who had the opposite, who had those moms who did not let them do the things that were popular in their times, guess what they were doing? Sucking dick in the bathroom. Guess what they were doing? Getting pregnant. Guess what they? No, I'm being dead serious. I'm
Don't suck a dick in the bathroom.
being serious.
It usually
I
is
know
them. I ain't even go flex.
I know that for a fact. Like, maybe my mom was extreme in allowing me to do X, Y, and Z because I didn't really have any rules. But I also was a kid who was like, all right, I know my mom cool. So I'm gonna ask. I was like, all right, I'll be the one to ask my mom to drive us X, Y, and Z. I was that person, but maybe that's my just my personality. But I know for a fact my friends whose moms did not let them do anything that was popular in our times, they were doing the exact extreme of what their mom didn't or their parents didn't want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yes,
just like
and
you
I
have
definitely agree with that because if you're too strict, you create rebellious children. I do agree with that. What I was saying was that you can restrict kids in a sense if you know you do not want them to be you don't want them to be predisposed to certain behaviors or certain things at an early age. I feel like nothing is wrong with that, and you can still have those conversations, but because you have those conversations doesn't mean that you should still allow them to see that type of behavior. Because yes, me and my son will have conversations about how it's bad to murder people, but does that mean that I will allow him to watch videos of people murdering people? No. Like,
okay, that's extreme.
no.
I'm talking more so of like just sex and stuff like that.
Yes, and I feel like I will have because my mom was very open when it comes to sexual things. Like when she found out I had sex for the first time, I didn't get in trouble. We had a very open, candid conversation. That totally every time she was like, she would always say like,
and that was also that your
you feel
mom,
like
how many times did you not have a phone and you use your friend's phone to do whatever you wanted to do? Where your mom can't
not really that often. I didn't use my friend. I probably snuck and tried to figure out how to talk to somebody, but using a friend's phone, like their physical phone, not very often.
you use my phone all the time to talk to your boyfriend.
Through you, maybe, but using your phone, using your actual phone, like we only went to school for maybe a year.
That's what I'm talking about. That year was a lot of times.
No,
On the
I
bus,
can't think of a time where I physically used your phone. Multiple occasions?
On the bus, you had my phone more than you to talk to that nigga. And your mom can't monitor my phone, my Sananto.
Yeah.
Your mom can't monitor my phone.
But I also don't think I don't think what
I know
she did was extreme. I
I'm
think
gonna tell you, I know
taking
for a
someone's
fact
phone wasn't extreme.
when my mom was checking my phone because she, just randomly, regularly, she's just like, "Oh, let me see your phone." I've had to lie for you because I'd be like, "Oh, I've had I know this for a fact." So So just to make sure.
No, I'm not saying I didn't do it. I'm just saying I don't think it was like every day. Like it was not a constant thing. Is what I'm saying.
Well,
I don't recall
your
that.
concept of time is warped.
But also, this was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
So like, it's like I don't recall.
Yeah.
But also, that's probably
even though
that's probably the most extreme thing my mom did was take my phone. And yeah, everybody knows Tasia was the one that she always had her phone taken. Blah 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 blah. But in the grand scheme of things, I learned I learned to adapt. It was not that fucking serious. Like
exactly.
I
learned to adapt.
But I learned to adapt to not have a phone. I didn't do like this ridiculous things. Like I wasn't doing like buying phones at.
But I also know people who did that. I know somebody who stole phones because they could not have a phone, so they stole them.
Hey, Mom, want to take that phone? Yeah. Bet.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, even though you didn't do the extreme, those extremes are out there.
Yes, and I agree. That's why I said, just like you didn't do the extreme because you said you had a very lax mom. There are people that cannot handle having lax parents, and they also lash out and do wild shit. Yeah. So that's why I think that people have to take the responsibility. I think these social media, these apps, they should take the responsibility as well as parents, because if you're keeping it a buck, you are not going to be able to monitor every single thing your kid. You may want to, you are never going to be able to do that. You can have all the conversations of the world, but as soon as you turn around and you stop talking to them, whatever you just said could go out the ear. Because there's been so many times that my mom has said shit to me, and I'm just like, okay, girl. Anyways.
I think in that sense, you have to know your kid and know how to handle them. Because like me and my sister had to be handled in completely different ways. So you just have to know.
And I agree.
What to do and how to handle.
And that's why at young ages, I feel like you have to have hard boundaries. And then as they develop as people and you understand them as a person, then you can kind of pull the reins or tighten the reins.
Right.
Like, okay,
but your hard boundaries,
wild one on our hands.
Your hard boundaries can't be something that exists in fucking 1995. We're not in 1995 with no computers anymore. We have all these computers.
I think that is extreme.
Yeah, they go to school and they get iPads from school. They get Chromebooks or whatever the hell they get nowadays. They get devices from school. That is how that's just what we're in now. We're in a world with technology, so you have to update it. That's what
because we're in that world, that doesn't.
That's why you have.
Just because you're in that world, I don't think that's a valid argument. That just because you're in this world, I have to that's like saying just because literally this is where this conversation is coming from. Just because we're in the world of Instagram bodies, that means we all have to adapt to and accept Instagram bodies. We have to be willing to,
No, I'm not saying
we live in a world where Instagram bodies are basically normal bodies.
But I'm not saying that you have to update and allow all social media. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you have to update and allow your discipline or how you speak to your child or what you tell your child. You have to update yourself to what is going on in the time. We can't be raised the same way our moms was raised in the freaking 1970s or whenever our moms
that would never work.
It's just not gonna be the same. Our moms had to update what they were doing for what we had access to. So now that we're in the age of having kids, we have to update ourselves to how those kids are being raised. Because we had access to social media, but not as young as these kids have access to social media. Kids know how to go to YouTube and search for shit. Kids know how to do all of that. Yes. So we have to update.
We had good old Vivo for a minute. Yeah. You went on YouTube to watch a music video and that was it.
Right. So now
learn a couple of dances, crank that.
That has to be updated for what they have access to. You can't just completely shut off access, because the reality is in your house, there may not be access, but when they step down the street to their friend's house or when they go to school or when they go to wherever, they have access to all of that shit that you wouldn't let them see. And now you have zero control over what they see outside of your house.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a constant battle, because I feel like at certain ages, you should not, regardless of times, I just can't ignore the fact that because of the advancement of technology has just been so dramatic in comparison to the evolution of us as people. They're on two different scales. Technology has evolved probably at 1,000 times speed than people have evolved.
Right.
So introducing things like technology so early on age, I don't know if there's enough studies to show how that affects kids later on, but I can bet my money it does, because I'm pretty sure it has affected me in some way, the way my posture is, the way sometimes my joints and my thumbs hurt because they're so used to being on a phone, things of that. So if you're introducing your 7-month-old to an iPad, crouched over, looking at the iPad, holding the iPad, I can see why someone would not want to introduce their kid to having their eyes strained. We wear blue light glasses as grown-ass adults. Do you put blue light glasses on your kid? No, you don't, because the motherfucker's going to take them shits off. So it's like,
you're talking about, I can agree with that. It's like you're talking about introducing it, but I'm talking about like completely withholding it. That's doing your child a disservice.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think
later, because a 7-month-old, they don't fucking know. They're not gonna remember being 7-month-old.
Exactly.
But if you're the type of parent who's like, my kid will not use this, and they will not use it when they go to kindergarten
until they're 12.
Girl, just be looking stuck.
When they go to first grade, all their work gonna be on them in the freaking iPad.
Yes. Okay. So yes, I do agree with that. Yes, they do. When I was speaking of restrictions, I was more so thinking of, I guess my mindset when I wrote the question was more so speaking on predators in that sense. Like, that's the first thing I thought of, the reason why someone would need restrictions, not thinking of like a personal restriction, like a parent and a child relationship. So in that sense, I think that is definitely subjective, and you do have to move with the times. You cannot, I don't think it's healthy that you restrict technology from your child until X amount of age, because as you said, things are moving. They do classrooms via laptops. Your kid don't know how to work a laptop.
Then what the hell? Like,
yeah, like your kid doesn't know how to work an iPad. They can't figure out, like, their Zoom stopped working on their laptop and they can't figure out how to do it on the iPad.
That's a wrap.
That's a problem. So yes, I do agree in that sense. I guess I was still stuck in the predator, like restricting, get the sick ass niggas.
And the reality is that's happen all ages. That's gonna happen. You just have to tell your kids what to look out, and you have to be able to
raise your kids.
I'm not talking about like you can't trust your kid to do X, Y, and Z. I'm saying like you have to teach your kid and be able to trust your kid that they're gonna be able to recognize what a predator is and recognize what is happening and recognize what is going on, so that they can protect themselves as well as you. But completely restricting it all just because, oh, when I was growing up in 1988, I ain't have no internet. Well, bitch, did the internet exist? No.
What kind of internet did you even have?
Barely.
I don't think there was any. So let's start there. Yeah, no. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's just one of those things where you don't know until you're in it.
Yeah.
You really don't know.
Even though we don't want to, we have to try to stay as updated with the times, because our asses will get motherfucking left. Even our grown asses will get motherfucking left behind. Okay.
Like if we didn't get on with TikTok, we would have been left behind. Okay?
We'd have been like, huh? Left our asses where we at.
Like, what do you mean you can't talk right now? You're doing hot girl shit. I don't understand.
What are you talking about?
My nephew was like, Auntie, you got a Twitter? That's for old people. I was like,
see, even something like that.
And he's
Twitter. When you think about 13. Twitter is millennials and older, like the millennials who are like on the edge of being Gen Zers.
I was like, because technically we're considered Gen Z.
It depends on
one in 96.
It depends. Like every time I see, so on some charts it says like millennials,
like Jametra said, we're on the cusp.
And then for the other ones, I see Gen Z starts. It's like 96 and 97. I see it's like different on each.
Yeah, I've seen it where it ends in 96.
Yeah,
I claim Gen Z. I don't claim it.
Because I was gonna say, even when talking to my coworkers, I'm the youngest of all my coworkers, and I can relate to some of the stuff they're saying, but then some of the stuff they're saying, I'm like,
I'd be like,
y'all too.
We're on the
yeah, we're
so
literally
like,
on the
it
cusp
just
because,
depends.
like you said, some charts will say
Yeah.
96 is the end of millennials, and other charts will say 96 is the start of millennials, and
Right.
it's like, I mean, the start of Gen Zers, and it's just like,
yeah. So it's just like
because I can't
both
relate
of them.
to some of them niggas.
Yeah, it's just like
up
some
there.
stuff they say. I'll be like, here's a grand example. One of my coworkers, he is all the way millennial. He's like 30 something, and we were all talking, and then he like was introducing a topic and was like, yeah, such and such, you know, and her special friend, and we were like, what the fuck do you mean special friend? Because the rest
Her
of
girlfriend.
the rest of us, we're like 20 somethings. Like the oldest is 29, I want to say. So 29, 26.
Is she a lesbian?
Yes, that's what he was trying to say. And we were like, what the fuck are you talking?
Her
What?
girlfriend?
We all were like, special friend? You mean lesbian girl?
Like when you first said special friend, my immediate thought was she has an imaginary friend. Then immediately, like 2 seconds after that, I was like, lesbian.
Right. It's because the
like
next motherfucking, we were all like, what the hell do you mean special friend? You mean a lesbian? She has a girlfriend, a wife, a fiance, whatever.
He probably was like,
yes,
a lesbian.
Literally, exactly. And we're all like, he was like introducing her being gay, like such as and we were like, what
taboo.
The fuck?
It's like, okay, anyways, she's a lesbian. Let's get to the story.
What is the point of this? And then we have to get to the point of the story.
For sure.
Like, who gives a fuck if she's a lesbian?
Like that, even so, that's something like I can relate to both. It just depends. Because even my sister is busy or some of the stuff she do, I'd be like, girl, what the fuck? Never.
I'm trying to think of something that I could not relate to that my brother does.
My sister does a lot of shit. I can't think of nothing. My sister does a lot of shit, and I'd be like,
I try to think of something where
why
I
would
could
you
relate
do
to
that?
Gen Z.
I know Jameer do a lot of shit because even when he just be messaging me on Instagram, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I'm trying to think of some stuff that I've seen on TikTok where I'd be like, these niggas is weird. I can't think of anything right now.
The cinnamon challenge. Were y'all doing the cinnamon challenge?
Oh, I definitely did it. Me and Jameer did the cinnamon challenge together. That was part of our generation. What do you mean? That was on Vine.
That was us. That was us. I just wasn't doing it.
That was us.
Yeah, maybe I was with the older group and I was like,
that was definitely us.
Y'all were doing the Tide Pod challenge?
No.
Okay,
no.
so maybe
that was the I remember it, but I can't remember what the hell it did.
The Tide Pod.
Eating it, yes. Okay, just like the bath salts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
No, I didn't do that. I did do the cinnamon challenge because I thought it was funny. Because you would see the video. I didn't know exactly what it did to you. I would just see people react, and I was like, "Why are people acting this way with cinnamon?" Because I didn't know. Because you eat things with cinnamon all the time. I thought it was just people doing it to be funny. And they were just I thought it was people being dramatic. Like, okay, maybe it kind of caught you because it's dry. Like, oh, you, I didn't know that cinnamon had that effect because a lot of times, a lot of things you eat have cinnamon in it and it doesn't have the effect. So I didn't know that if you had a little bit more than just what's in a recipe that automatically now your throat's fucking clogging up. I mean, I was like 14. Why the fuck would I know that? I'm not a baker. Like,
I don't know, but I knew I saw it and I was like,
oh, like I said, I thought people were just being dramatic. I'm a person that calls everyone dramatic. I'm like, okay, they're being dramatic. They're doing too much. And I have a little brother. I was like, let's do this. Let's try it out.
Not her as the older sibling.
Literally, my sister and her friend did the cinnamon challenge, and I was like, no, why would y'all do that?
My brother was wrong with you. And I did, like, I was doing, because we did it at the same time, and you literally feel it, and you're like, oh my god, these people were not lying. I was like,
what the hell's
they weren't lying. I didn't know, because they were never in the comments saying, yes, if you do this, your throat will close up. They were just like, no, man, you gotta do it, and it's just like, oh, y'all niggas playing. I was like, let me see what they really about.
I saw them choking.
That was definitely art.
No. And then my sister was like, can you record me?
And I was gonna say, I recorded me and my brother doing it.
And I was like, no, why the hell would y'all do that? I never did the
Yeah,
cinnamon
I can't
challenge.
think of anything that a Gen Zer would do that where I've been like, y'all niggas crazy.
Oh, I got a list of things Gen Zers that I'm just
Like
like,
what?
why the fuck? Those main two things. You did the Tide
The
Pod?
cinnamon challenge was not a Gen Z thing.
Yes, it is.
That was
Yes, it
our
is.
time. That was during
Yes,
Vine
it is.
era.
Didn't you know?
That was during Vine era. That was not
Barely.
those were not the peak Gen Zers. When I
Yeah.
think of, as I'm thinking peak Gen Zers, I'm thinking past the cusp. So like
You need
2002
the Tide
plus.
Pod where you eating Tide Pods to see what happens.
No,
Exactly.
no.
It's
Okay, that's one.
weird shit like that.
I feel like anybody that did come on, it's a fucking detergent.
And see,
That's just
the way you talk about detergent is how I feel about the cinnamon. Why the fuck would you do the cinnamon? Like,
cinnamon is something you eat. Detergent is a fucking chemical.
No.
Why would you? That's like, yeah, let's do a bleach challenge. No. Everybody drinking bleach.
Everybody go die.
No, you dumbass. Why would I do that?
No.
Yeah. Maybe I just relate more to the Gen Zers.
Maybe you do. I feel like I relate half and half because even still at work, all my millennial coworkers, they be talking about stuff and I be like, huh? And they be like, or they even know, they be like, they know when I get quiet, they're like, Jametra, you don't know this, do you? I'm like, you're right. I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about.
I don't know what it is that you're saying. I feel like it's just, cannot relate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are things that millennials talk about?
I feel like my coworkers are different. Most of them, they be talking about songs and shit. And I be like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Like, what the hell is this? Or what the hell are y'all doing? But that's specific to them.
Mm-hmm.
Even
I was just trying to think of like things that are popular for the millennial generation that I would be like, oh, I can't relate.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think one thing in Atlanta is like the teen clubs at the skating rinks.
Okay, I went to those.
Like stuff like that. Those are millennials.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I could see that. I could see that because there were also I was of the younger.
Yeah, we were the youngest people.
I was the ones I barely made it in. Yeah, so I could definitely see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like it was like, whoo, good thing you were born a year early because you barely made it, pal. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. Okay. Wow, good old Cascade days. Remember the little teen club upstairs.
My coworkers did not go to the Cascade one. I thought they did. I went to the Cascade one too. They said
they went to like Golden Glide.
I think
that's on
that
the east side.
Something else. That it was that one and something else. I can't remember because I'm also not that familiar with Atlanta areas like that.
Yeah, I was like, the only reason why I know about Golden Glide is because I went to school in DeKalb, and that's like, that's the one. I'm just like, okay, anyways, Cascade or anything.
County area.
Okay, so then if they went to somewhere in Clayton County, then it wouldn't be Golden Glide.
I don't think
it definitely wasn't Sparkles.
No, that was in Cobb County. I've been there. I don't
know what it could be. Yeah, the only one I know of is Golden Glide. I know I've heard of another one, but I can't think of the name.
Yeah, that's like they
two main ones I know: Cascade, Golden Glide, and I can't think of the other one.
They told me, but I forgot.
Very interesting. But yeah, that was my last question. So we
motherfucker was talking for a long time.
I know, right? I didn't think we were gonna be able to get that, but we did. We had some very provoking conversations. I hope you guys were listening and taking this in and having these discussions with the people in your circle.
Yeah, I don't think I gotten. Have y'all gotten any followers from like the podcast?
Fuck no. Our Instagram, our podcast Instagram, yes.
Yes, personal, no.
Y'all niggas don't be following it. I'm gonna need y'all to follow because we say it at the end for a reason.
Right.
Maybe we should keep it. All y'all. Maybe we should do it at the beginning.
All y'all need to be feeling fancy.
Right.
To follow us, okay? Okay, all y'all. Period. But let's go to the word of the week because we've missed 2 thus far. So
it's the word of the week.
Dictionary looking boy.
Okay.
Point them out.
Okay. Today's word of the week is comedy, which is spelled COMITY.
Oh,
I thought she was talking about comedy. Like funny.
We want to.
Bitch, you can skip that one.
You should chose another
comedy. I'll say comedy, more literal.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you need to enunciate.
Please.
Anyway, so first definition 1A, friendly social atmosphere, social harmony. B, a loose, widespread community based on common social institutions. C, the courtesy and friendship of nations marked especially by mutual recognition of executive, legislative, and judicial acts. D, the informal and voluntary recognition by courts of one jurisdiction of the laws and judicial decisions of another. 2, avoidance of proselytizing members of another religious denomination.
Can I get that in a sentence, please?
So this is pretty much when we talk on our podcast, we're creating a comedy.
Okay.
A friendly social atmosphere.
I challenge you all listeners, to use this in your use comedy this week in a sentence in your natural language. I challenge you all. Because they dumb as fuck. Anyways. What's not clicking? Beyonce. Okay. Let's go on to our not that complicated.
Ready? Hold on.
Aren't y'all supposed to?
Okay, so with this not that complicated, it's gonna go with the theme of. Actually, it wasn't last week because we didn't have one. It was the week before that. We were talking about being in these trash ass relationships with these cheating ass niggas, and that scenario.
Lord, save us.
Literally, please remove us from these shackles. Please. Woo, with your lavender. Woo, please. Okay, so in this situation, say you have been dealing with this nigga. And you have known him for a really long time. Y'all kicking it, y'all, And then it's been a couple of years. But okay, I take that back. Before the couple of years, y'all just been kicking it, y'all been cool. And then you realize, like, he talked to somebody else. It don't really faze you because, like I said, y'all just kicking it, y'all cool. Then you notice that this nigga's getting real, kind of serious from what you see from the other girl. He's getting serious with her. But with you, he's still saying, like, things are like, chill, shawty, ain't nothing going on. Like, I already told her I'm on my own thing and she doing her own thing, so it's no biggie. But also, this nigga lives with that bitch. So it's like,
do he got money?
He doesn't have a job, but he has a savings from college. So
why would I mess with somebody without a job?
Listen, this is a scenario you're thinking too deep. So, like I said, y'all been kicking it. He's telling you that they just cool, and then you come to find out that later on down the road they become boyfriend or girlfriend, but y'all still just kicking it, and you cool with it, blah blah blah. So then, say 2 years have passed. Y'all still kicking it, and then you end up getting pregnant by him. You tell him, you keep the baby, you have the baby. And then now his other girlfriend, he's also had kids with the other girlfriend. And she coming to you saying you a homewrecker, you a trifling ass bitch, you need to stop messing with him because he has a family at home. What you doing?
See my face? That's how I'm gonna look at her.
Like, what? I would honestly be like, you should be having this conversation with your nigga.
Yeah.
Literally.
Because he's the one that owes you something.
Yeah. I don't ever.
He's the one that's playing in your face.
I don't ever want to be came to woman. Because take that up with him. Please take it up with him.
Save it, sister. Please. Because I probably will not be nice because I feel like you're disrespecting me by coming to me as a woman with that bullshit.
Right.
Trying to check me.
Talk about what you got to say. No.
And when I don't give a fuck about what somebody has to say, I'm usually not that nice. So you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay, so.
And if she approached me again, she not gonna like.
I need to go back. Why? What has happened to me that would cause me to mess with a man, have sex with a man, raw sex with a man, enough to get me pregnant? why would I do that with someone who does not have a job? Because all
Because
that
he's still getting to the money.
He's
still getting to the money. No, we do not condone that. He was getting money.
Oh, okay.
Just not through payroll.
Okay, because I was like, everything I stand for.
He didn't have no pay stubs.
I'm not fucking with a nigga who
he doesn't fill out W3s.
He was giving me money because I'm not fucking with a nigga who don't do nothing for me.
Oh yeah. He was definitely sliding you some.
Oh, okay. So what would I do in regards to what?
The girlfriend coming to you saying like, you need to stop messing with him. Like she said this over like, a period of time. Like, you need to stop messing with him. He has a family. I'm pregnant. Do you not care?
Oh, I would tell her.
You need to be a lady. Yeah.
I would say.
Me too.
I am a fucking lady and I don't care.
I did not lay in the bed with you. I am not your boyfriend. Like, why are you talking to me?
Who are you? He never told me about this. I would honestly, I'll probably say I would hurt her feelings. Even if I didn't know about her, I would make her.
I would act like I didn't and be like, who are you?
About her. I'm like, oh my God, he never told me anything about you.
Who are you? You said y'all been together for how long? And y'all have kids? Yeah, never heard of.
Wow, that's crazy. And
then I would probably be like, I've heard about blank and bring up some random person, but I've never heard of you.
Just to piss her off.
Yeah, he told me that he was talking to somebody, but her name wasn't your name.
Yeah, her name was Isabel, and your name is complete opposite. Not even close.
Wow. I don't know anything about you. Listen,
who are you?
I say if I was to be a side bitch, it would have to be by a man who's completely taking care of me. I will say that. I would have to do nothing, which is my life goal, to do absolutely nothing. And so, if you're doing that and then your wife comes to me, well, I think it's two things. If you told me
more money,
if you
keep your bitch in check.
If you told me about your wife before, then I'm going to assume that you've given me the amount that I've agreed to. However, if you didn't tell me about her, I'm going to be like, so
renegotiate.
Let's talk about it.
My lawyer will have a new contract in your email very soon.
I need an increase to keep my mouth shut because I am not above going on Instagram, going on YouTube, going on whatever, and exposing a nigga, especially if the other girl is famous. Girl, we all gonna make some money. What you?
We all getting a check.
I'm not above exposing a nigga because I'm gonna assume that I'm not in love with him like that. Like if I care about how much
could you be?
Yeah, if I care about how much money he's giving me and stuff like that, I don't fucking like him anyway. So you can have him. I'm done now.
Anyways,
because this is too much drama in my life. I'm anti-drama.
I just wanted this quick little whoop-de-whoop.
I thought we were just being cool. He was paying my rent. He was giving me money. He was giving me spending money. He was buying me jewelry. He was doing all this and that. But I know that it's from you. Okay, my price went up because now I have a baby. So my child support, I need
to factor that in times 2.
I need that. That's what I'm telling you. Don't ever get me pregnant because
all my bills times 2.
Child support. Listen, any future baby that you will go on child support because you niggas are trash. I don't have time for it. I don't have time. These things are garbage. I know way too many. I have way too many examples in my head that I could name off rapid fire. And I'm like, not even dealing with it. Child support.
Yeah, I don't think anything's wrong with child support. I don't think it's a negative.
No, especially because niggas are not.
It's the bare minimum, if we're being honest.
And they are not, self-starters. They are not.
They're not. You have to remind them.
You have to tell child support. I need my money.
Child support.
I
need my additional $300. Or whatever it is.
I don't care if it's $2. I want my $2 every day.
No.
Okay.
In my account right now. Yeah.
But I guess that's also a bad reason why you can't fuck with a nigga who don't got a job because how you gonna get your money?
You can't get child support for him a nigga that doesn't have a W3 but is getting money. Now you gotta send the ops after his ass.
No, we got a few. Morgan, if you need some, we got a few.
That's why you don't deal with bitches that ain't yours. I'm not loyal to you, nigga.
No. Yeah, no. So what would I do if she came to me? I would say, "Oh, how nice of you. I'm sorry that he hurt you like that."
Next caller.
Yeah, she can now.
That's all. That's really all that I can say. I'm sorry he hurt you like that.
I have nothing for you. And that
Literally, I have
is not that
nothing for you.
complicated.
Yeah.
Not that complicated. Beautiful gowns, but I have
Literally
nothing for you.
beautiful gowns and only beautiful gowns. Because especially if you're gonna stay with him,
I definitely don't have anything for you.
I don't even have a sorry for you anymore.
I'm just gonna be like, yeah.
If you want to be my kid's stepmom, hands up, cash out. I want it from you too. If he's gonna be wearing Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada, my baby will be wearing it too.
These basic bitches, shit, but I don't even bother.
Right, my baby need to be wearing it too. I don't like these fathers living a life that their baby can't live.
Exactly, literally. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that wasn't that complicated this week, guys. We all came to a consensus.
I love that for us.
Pay her dust.
I genuinely do. Literally, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
I hope
bitch,
none of us become
fuck
that
me.
girl.
Hello.
We won't.
Fuck that bitch.
Which
girl?
I won't. I guess.
Believe that.
Which girl? The one
girl.
coming
Either
to the
one.
woman?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Either one, really.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I just had to clarify. Because I feel like the one coming to the side chick is probably the worst.
Yeah, I agree. She's the worst.
Because we are no one in this scenario. Love that for us.
Oof. That sounds like the ghetto.
Don't forget, if you are a viewer, you can email us at, what's our email?
ntcpod@gmail.com. If you have any questions that you want us to answer, you need some advice.
If you want,
we're here to answer.
We should do an episode of advice.
I agree.
Well, we have to get the emails in.
Right. If you have any emails, send the email again.
ntcpod@gmail.com. That is N as in Nathaniel, T as in Tyrone, C as in cat, pod @gmail.com.
Girl, you sounded like the airport train at Atlanta Hartsfield.
W as in Willacoochee, Georgia.
Same. But make sure you are sending those emails, like we said, advice if you have any not that complicated, any questions, send all that shit there. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you give us a rate and review. If you're on Spotify, subscribe. And if you're listening anywhere else, make sure you hit the buttons that you need to hit. And
wherever they may
be. To follow us on Instagram at Not That Complicated Pod. And subscribe to us on YouTube at Not That Complicated Podcast. And if you're feeling real fancy, you can follow the host. Fancy. Yeah, y'all need to feel real motherfucking fancy if we're being honest. You need to follow us at Sotasia, SEAUXTEJAH.
And me at 2_ Jametra, JAMETRA.
And I am Moashco on all social media platforms. That's MOASHCO. You already know, coming through the dough, about to give you Mo, drop it to the flow. Purr. And we out.
We out of here.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.